taken.
Do me a talk. All right. So everybody is here tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit. It won't be long because I promised I wouldn't take a long time. As everybody knows, we're working with Kybers Carlson for our construction management risk for our building project. We're working with HKG and Dean as our architect. Once the bond issue passed, a process started. And that process is Dean working with Kybers Carlson to try to come up with the best plan that they can for the $9 million bond issue that was passed in December. Kybers is supposed to guarantee the $9 million. Dean's supposed to work with them to get it to $9 million. So we had a meeting the other night. Kybers presented their initial estimate of the cost to us. And you know, when that process happens, it may not be exactly at $9 million where we need it to be. A lot of times it's high. And so then what happens is the process continues. We have 2 more meetings scheduled with Kybers Carlson, one on the 27th of February, one sometime before the March board meeting. The March board meeting is March 11th. And so what will happen is between that time, Dean and his engineers provide information to Kybers Carlson, and they tweak their numbers, and they try to get their numbers as close as they can. So with that being said, that process is going to continue. The numbers that Kybers gave us last week on Valentine's Day, not final numbers by any means, and those numbers will change. But the goal of the board and Dean and Kybers is to provide the community with what you were told we were going to do, which is new middle school, high school, new commons, new kitchen, new administrative offices, and an extensive remodel of the elementary school. And so that's the goal. That is still the goal and will remain the goal until bids go out and we see where the bids are at. So really nothing's changed, but like I said, we're going to have 2 more meetings, and Dean's going to work with Dave at Kybers, and they're going to tool their numbers down to what they need to. So there's no other action that's going to be taken out of our meeting that we had in executive session, and the process and the boat's still moving forward. So
Moving on to open forum time. Anyone?
Thank you for not taking any action. With all of the process that we've gone through for the last several months, and the building committee and whatever the compromises that were reached, it's important, I think, you remember that all of this was with the idea that there was a construction manager at risk, and if there wasn't one, it probably wouldn't have passed. We hope you can finally, through the process, and we know it's a process, but arrive at something that was very close to what we kind of looked at. And I guess that depends on the numbers, but it's hugely important to a lot of us that we keep a construction manager at risk that knows how all this has to take place. And so I just need to tell you that. Thank you.
Anybody else?
If you don't have a construction manager at risk, who is liable for all the problems? What?
we would be. The school district would be.
Well, you have a general contractor, though. You'd have a contractor.
A contractor, but they don't guarantee that price, so if anything goes over the $9 million, the district would have to pay it.
But the board would have to go along with it.
Yeah, you'd redesign
Yeah.
or something.
So I mean,
But
yeah,
that's not what you're looking at right now, so.
Well, I think it's very important we have a construction manager here to take the risk. I mean, I hate to see this bid dropped on the school board. If it did drop on the school board, who's liable for it? Who's going to handle it? The superintendent or everybody on the board? I don't think you guys want that responsibility. I have to agree with this young lady here, what she said. You got to have somebody to take that risk. If it's overbid, that guy's responsible for the overbidding. That's the only way to do a project. Of course, that's one man's opinion. I've done a little bit of this myself in the Black Hills. And believe me, and have a damn good lawyer and have somebody take the risk other than the school board and the superintendent. Because I don't think, if I was superintendent, I wouldn't want nothing to do with it.
Anybody else?
Are we going to be informed of building design? Because I think that the design of the building was, I guess we had it in our heads that there was a certain vision about what this thing would look like. And so if that changes, how will we be informed of that? And when will we be given an opportunity to have input on that, yea or nay? I.e., for example, a pitched roof versus a flat roof, as an example.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure how to answer.
Yeah, because we're in the process right now of doing those drawings, and some of those, the pitched roof over the high school was taken on.
I just use that as an example.
Right.
I'm not asking you to commit.
When
take it over,
we
not
get
take
to,
it.
we will do an updated drawing, like the color perspectives you had before, we'll be updating those once we get through this process in the next 30 days. I would say that you would have a drawing before they sign a contract that will show what you're getting, that we presented to this group.
And the reason that I ask is because with the bond issue passing already, it was with the idea that there was a vision from those drawings. Now that's changed. I'm not sure the bond issue would have passed, given the fact that you're looking at those kinds of changes. That's my opinion.
I don't believe anything has changed yet, John.
No, I'm just saying, I have a feeling that it's going to. He just said that the pitched roof is out, flat roof is possibly in, or did I
Well, some of
misunderstand?
it is, because yeah.
So you see, we have changes. Don't tell me there's not changes. There's already changes being made. We haven't been informed of anything.
But the thing too, John, remember, is when we had our community meetings, I think one thing I said when I showed everybody the drawings is that this may not be the drawing when we hit the final building and start building the building project. Things are gonna change depending on where the bids come in at. Things may have to change in order to be able to do a majority of the things that we told you that we were going to do, i.e. put the 1.8, and you understand that, so.
I do understand that, but I also feel like I got bait and hook.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, need a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Do you understand my?